Me, yep, I feel that I'm bad. Yes. So exactly. Like I don't know a lot of people actually who just say, "Oh yeah, I can remember things really, really well." I don't know. Oh, you know what I'm just realizing, Lincoln? I'm
What's
just,
up?
by the way, this is Lincoln, everybody. If you are new here, this is Lincoln Hoppe. He's my partner in crime. We've been doing improv together for a couple of decades, and
Yeah.
it really feels like much longer than that.
Every minute with you, Lincoln, is like a year.
No, we have been doing improv for a long time together, and that's why we want to do this. And we'll be talking about what we love to do and teach later, which took us years to develop. But tonight we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to our hearts, and that is memory. What I was about to say, Lincoln, is I was just realizing I still have our Dungeons and Dragons. Lincoln and I do a Dungeons and
Leave it
Dragons
up.
live
It's
stream.
great. It
I'm going to
looks
leave it up.
amazing.
I'm going to leave it up. I need to turn on. Hold on.
In fact, it's highly thematically appropriate
For
for
what?
memory.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to hear why.
Yes.
This is something that
So excited.
we did not plan this part of it. Everything else we have is scripted tonight.
That's right.
So, Lincoln, I like your blue shirt. Yep, you are blue. Wait. So please do tell, Lincoln, why is it highly appropriate?
Well, I'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
Um, First of all, many of you may know that Eric and I are both professional actors. We live in Los Angeles. We are constantly getting scripts, and we have to memorize page after page, scene after scene. If we're lucky, if we're not lucky, we get 2 words
We
for
have
our
to
character
memorize
for the
one
audition.
sentence.
So I do not have what I would call a good natural memory. Some of the people in my family have better memories than I. One of my sons has a great memory, great natural memory. But so I was always looking for ways to improve my memory. So that led to basically a long time search of some of the secrets of unlocking a delightfully powerful
Mm.
memory. And I have unlocked some of those secrets, not because I made them up necessarily, but because I went researched and found a bunch of these great tricks. So, first, a story. I was in an improv group called Comedy Sports in LA, and
Maybe many people around here probably may have gone to comedy sports who are in
absolutely,
there.
Comedy
There are
Sports is
comedy sports
around the world,
throughout the country, throughout the
around
world.
the
Yeah.
world, entirely around the world. So many of you may have seen a Comedy Sports show, but at Comedy Sports Los Angeles, the person running it and still runs it today is named James Thomas Bailey, and he was giving a workshop. And I said, James, when we get up to do, so I was in the cast and he was doing a workshop for the cast. And he said, any questions? And I said, sometimes when we get a suggestion from the audience, I'll get up on stage and we'll start doing a scene. And halfway through the scene, I've completely forgotten the suggestion. It's gone, because I've been doing other things. You too, Eric?
Yes.
So he said something to me that at the time made very little sense, but I have since figured out exactly what he meant. And this is how it ties into the pictures behind you. He said it can be one of the most powerful memory techniques to turn the thing you need to remember into a picture.
Mm. Yep.
So turning things into a picture engages the part of your memory that is much better for memorizing and remembering things. Think about it. You can remember a face from many years ago, but can you remember their name? Now, it depends on how often you've seen them. I forget people's names all the time unless I'm consciously trying to remember them. Much easier to remember a face, which is a picture, than to remember someone's name. So much easier.
Yeah, and I would
Uh,
dare say that when you now think, can I flip it on its head, Lincoln?
Please.
I think flip it on its head. And not flip it on its head, but now what I want everyone in here to do is think about think about the name. Think about the name of your one of your best friends in high school. Just do it right now. Think about okay, mine, John McDonald. Okay? One of my best friends in high school, John McDonald. Okay. When you thought about that name, how many of you saw that person's face? Because
Very good point.
I don't think I ever think of somebody when I think of their name, I do not see their face in my mind. I don't think that ever has happened to me.
It's because that is exactly the way the brain
Yep.
works. And it's not just with visual pictures. It's also with smells. You'll notice that sometimes you smell something and it reminds you of a time. Textures, all these things. Words are the hardest things to remember because we don't grow up understanding words. We grow up understanding our senses. We have to learn how to understand words. So I came to understand what he meant was that if you can turn a word, or if you can turn a suggestion, or if you can turn someone's name or whatever it is into a picture, you have a much better chance at remembering it. So on to one of our first tips. And that's like tip 0.5. That's tip
0.5. Yeah, 0. It's the prologue, which we
Right.
learned in our improv show with Orson Scott Card, the author,
Don't write a
best-selling
prologue.
author. Don't ever write a prologue. But that was our prologue.
That's right. That's right. And Melissa, my son's name that plays for our shows is named Tucker.
Tucker. Yep.
So, and Tucker might be watching now too.
And I
He's
just
one of
saw his
our
face in
Improv
my mind.
Wizards.
I just saw Tucker's face
That's
in my
right.
mind.
We see pictures. So creative visualization is one of the keys to a better memory. Our mind holds images much more easily than words. And not to mention images, but places, thanks to our spatial memory. Anybody ever watched Sherlock Holmes, where he talks about memory palaces? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes, we got some yeses. So memory palaces is exactly that. If you've watched the new Sherlock Holmes series where he talks about memory palaces, what Sherlock does is he records pictures and puts them into a place. So, and again, the three huge tips to a better memory are to remember this. I call it Ali. Got that from Dominic O'Brien, 8-time world memory champion. Association, location, and imagination. So your mind, your memory works completely by association. You link one thing to another. You see one thing and you relate it to another. So you see a hot dog and your mind says, oh, that's a kind of food. So you're linking it to all the other foods that you've had. Your mind also says, I remember the bad hot dog that I had when I was 12. Your mind links things. It's associated. All right. Location, our spatial memories are excellent. All right. So when you put a memory into a location in your mind, that's why when you walk into a room sometimes, like you're missing your keys and you're looking all over your house. And then when you walk into the room that they're at, you're like, oh, they're over there. Like as soon as you're in that location, you can remember. And then your imagination is the absolute glue, the thing that encodes everything into your memory. All right. So Ali, I think of Prince Ali from the Aladdin movies to remember that. Association, location, imagination. A-L-I, Ali. So now we're going to train one specific part of that. We're not going to train necessarily association as much. We're not going to train location as much. We are going to train imagination. We're going to train you to create some vivid pictures. Now, we've all had tons of experience doing this, but some people are like, I can't visualize too well. And some people are like, I visualize great. It's different for everybody. But just like improvisation, just like a sport, just like music, you can improve your visualization powers by practice. It's like going to the gym. That's why we offer an improv course, because improv can be taught, it can be trained, just like your memory can be trained, just like visualization can be trained. So we're going to do our first exercise tonight. This is one that everybody can do at home. If you're in a safe place where you can close your eyes, that's great. If you can't close your eyes because you're driving, or you need to keep
If
your
you're
eyes on,
driving,
do not close
first
your
of
eyes.
all, what are you doing in this workshop? We are happy that you're here, but what are you doing if you're driving?
Maybe they're listening. I don't know. So yeah. So you can play this at home, but you can also play it with your eyes open. For some of us, it's easier to visualize things with your eyes closed. So
Okay.
if it's easier for you to visualize with your eyes closed, do it. Close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so. Okay, so simply what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen that memory tool of creative visualization by closing our eyes and picturing an object. All right, so everybody close your eyes who's able to. If you can't, you can do this with your eyes open. It's just a little harder. Okay, but still not if you're driving, because that can cause problems. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to see in your mind's eye, picture a ball, any kind of ball. All right, maybe it's a soccer ball. Maybe it's a rubber playground ball. Maybe it's a baseball, any kind of ball that you want. All right. If you don't see it immediately, just look for that impression of a ball in your mind. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, as if you've got those imaging powers like you might see on the movies, I want you to expand that ball and make it bigger in your eyes. Okay, just make it either closer to your face or bigger. I want you to look at the details of that ball. Okay, what color is it? Is it multiple colors? Right, just imagine in as much detail as you can. Now, again, if we're doing one of these 3D things, you can turn the ball in your mind. You can turn it to different angles. We can all do this. We all have a very naturally good spatial memory. That's how you can remember your way home from school or your way home from work without needing to use a map every single time. We have very good spatial memory. So use that spatial memory. Oh, great.
Not right now. Just remind me later.
Use that spatial memory to turn that ball in your mind and see what color is it. If you're seeing, I don't want to put a color into your mind, but if you see a specific color, get a little bit more specific with the color. Is there a texture to the ball? Just practice seeing this ball in as much detail as you can. All right. Now zoom in even further to any place on this ball. If it has a place for a pump, you might want to zoom on that. If it's got a scratch on it, zoom in on that. Yeah, not only a ball brand new in the store wouldn't have any scratches on it, right? So zoom in and look super close at the detail. Is there a texture? Again, are there scratches? Is it smooth, or is the whole ball covered in tiny little bumps? Just practice seeing it. See it in as much detail as you can. All right. Now what you can do is reach out in your mind and grab that ball. Okay. If it's huge, you'll grab it differently than if it's small. I want you to hold on to it, see what it feels like. All right. Take a smell of the ball. Does it smell like rubber? Does it smell like the grass? Does it smell like dirt? What does it smell like? I want you to gather in all of these senses. Okay. Is it perfectly round? Is it a little lopsided? See as much detail as you can. All right, I'm going to give you another 10 seconds to just see if you can discover something new about this ball visually. Okay, great. Great, you can open your eyes now. Let's see in the chat some of the details that you noticed about the ball. Type in the color, type in what kind of ball it was. Even if you didn't see clearly, most people when you visualize, they don't see super clearly until you train this, but you still get an impression of it. Okay. Eric saw a baseball.
That's right.
Excellent.
I did.
Edison saw a tennis ball with bumps on it, and it's teal.
Oh, a teal tennis
Wonderful.
ball. Interesting.
That's excellent. McCuser saw a yellow, red, blue, white beach ball with blow-up stems. See, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Great details. Rebecca, hey, Rebecca. Rebecca saw pinkish red, small, squiggly indents, and the smell. Oh, this is wonderful. These are great, great details. Gopala saw a basketball. David Burr, how are you, David?
Costco basketball.
And David's also asking Eric if you want to play catch after. This is wonderful.
Yes,
This is wonderful.
sir. Yes, sir. I love baseball.
Okay. Was anybody surprised at how much detail they were able to see? Or was this just like you visualize all the time? Let us know.
When you zoomed in, it was interesting when you zoomed in
Yep.
how your mind
Tons
would
of
start
things.
to create and fill in that zoom in, right?
Uh, Pikea saw a Pixar ball, specifically the statue of it at Pixar. That's wonderful.
Oh, neat.
Wonderful. Yeah, Eric, that's a great point. When you zoom in, this is another principle of improv. When you put your mind into something, your mind will provide details, which is what makes it so fun and such a creative experience.
Yeah.
That's why improv is so incredibly good for the brain. It's amazing what it does for your creativity.
I mean, in our improv course, in our online improv course, we talk about this also, like with emotions. If you have an emotion, your mind fills in the blanks. Just like with this visualization experience, your mind will fill in the blanks.
That's right.
If you decide to have an emotion, your mind will help you then realize why you're having an emotion. And so, for those of you who do have our class, and we have some people in here who do, if you haven't found that part yet in our online improv course, I love this aspect of your mind filling in the blanks.
Not only is it
got stuck between buildings and trees, says Gopal.
Now this is great. Now I'm not sure if you're saying your mind got stuck or the
No,
ball
I think
got
the ball
stuck.
did. It sounds like the ball got stuck because it was expanding and then got stuck in between the buildings.
Yeah, that's possible. But again, even if you're saying that you got stuck not being able to see the ball as much because there was other details, that's wonderful too, because you're seeing all those other great details. Either way, it's
yeah. Some of you guys are commenting just to panelists.
Oh yeah.
So make sure when you click in the chat, it says all panelists and attendees, and that's why.
That way everyone can see it.
That way everyone, unless you just want to have us.
We're trying to shout them out as they're saying.
Yeah.
Edison says it's creating something in your mind. That's great. Rebecca Spencer said, I can smell the ball. See, that's so great. An underused sense when we're doing improv, but wonderful. And my neck sort of hurts because, man, when that thing smacked you.
Man, when that thing smacked you. Man, when that thing smacked you. When
That's
it got
great.
Oh!
That's great. Okay, so Rebecca, you have an excellent visual memory as well as sense memory. So that's great. You must have a very creative mind as well. Also, okay, had to remove trees and buildings. Very difficult task. Gopal, that's right. Yeah, you don't have to, but you can. And again, what I'm saying is the fact that you were seeing trees and buildings, that's great. And if you need to remove them, you don't have to get rid of them because that is harder. You can just zoom in on the ball, like that, like they do in the movies. They swipe things and then they make things bigger. So that's a tip for that. You can just make it bigger in your mind and then you won't see the trees and the buildings as much. But that's great if you saw trees and buildings. That's absolutely fantastic. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This is one of the number one building blocks of memory, to be able to see things vividly so that you can turn them into pictures. So let's do real quick. Let's just say, let's just get an object in the chat. Well, let's say, yeah, let's just somebody type in an object. Okay, spoon. Edison says spoon. Okay, so let's say I needed to remember to buy new spoons at the store, but I didn't have anything to write it down with.
Oh, this happens, and this happens.
Yes.
You go to the store, then you come home, your wife says, did you remember the blah, blah, blah?
Right. No. So what I do in this case is I use a visual shopping list powered by improv power. Okay. So I use those improv skills of visualization, and then I use my body. Okay. So I will think visually of so I start at my toe, I go toe, knee, thigh, then my bum, and then my what are these called? Love handles. And then basically I can put 10 items visually on my body. It's called a peg list. So if I needed to remember, I needed to get spoons at the store, I would visualize a ginormous spoon and I would stick it on my toe and I would spin it around on my toe. It's a crazy image, right? It's weird, like spinning, like how is that gravitational wise staying on your toe? That's what I would visualize, keeping it on my toe. And then when I get to the store, I'm like, what did I need to buy? Well, I use my body as a list. And what is on the first item, my toe? Well, I can see clearly a spoon spinning around on my toe. So very clearly, I remember that I need to buy spoons. And you can do this with anything. So let's say pepper's next. So pepper, I put it on my knee. So I would take some pepper and I would just visualize after the spoon spinning around on my toe, I would take pepper, and maybe it's like, this is maybe what a normal spacework pepper shaker would look like. I might have a big pepper shaker just to make it more visually huge in my mind, to make it more sticky memory wise. And then I would picture pouring pepper onto my knee, and maybe there's a cut on my knee, and so the pepper makes it burn. So I'm using the visualization and those images to put in spatial memory on my toe and on my knee those items. So I get to the store, I'm like, what did I need? All right, my first part of my body list is my toe. What's on my toe? Well, I can clearly see a spoon spinning around on my toe, so I need to buy spoons. Secondly, my next spot on my body list is my knee. What's on my knee? Oh, well, I have cuts on my knee and someone's pouring pepper, this huge pepper shaker into my knee, and it's burning. So I can visually go back through my list and remember all those things. Super easy to do with 10 items. Really, really easy. Now, this is all part of memory. And we're talking mostly today about improv. So improv strengthens those visualization skills, just like we just did with that visualizing the object. And Eric, do you want to do a little labeling as well? Should we do
Yeah,
some labeling?
I mean, we don't
We
have a
can do
whole
that
lot of
real
time
quick.
left. And I do want to address. So David said, another list technique is 1 is a bun, 2 is a shoe, 3 is a tree. That's great. And that's great, and that can be really helpful.
It's called a number rhyming list.
Number rhyming. What happens if you have to buy a pepper?
If you have to buy a pepper.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What if pepper's on your list? What number do you rhyme with pepper?
No. So what he's saying is you take the list, and let's say the 1 is gun. That's what I use. 1 is gun. He got 1 is bun. So let's say my pre-existing list is 1 is bun, 2 is shoe, 3 is tree, 4 is door. I would say, okay, what's the first thing on my list? Well, it's a bun, and I need to buy pepper. So what I would do is I would take the number 1 bun and put pepper into the bun.
Oh, so then you visualize pepper on the bun.
Because I would always use a bun to represent the first thing on my list.
Well, what's interesting about that is that, you're still using visualization. You're using this improv tool visualization to create with that list. Okay, great. Okay, that makes sense. So instead of using the body parts, you're using the bun, shoe, tree.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
So that's using your spatial memory. So I use a body list sometimes for a shopping list. You can use a number rhyme list. People use memory palaces, which is essentially like my front door is 1. My entry hall is 2.
And then what do you see in there instead
my
of
couch in the living room is 3. My printer is 4. The piano is 5. So those are standard in my head. I always know what the stations in my house are, and I can put them in there. But the glue that makes it work is the visualization skill. Now, obviously, when you're up on stage doing an improvisation, like we do in our shows, we have nothing on stage. It's a blank stage. We have no props. So we're using our powers of visualization to say, what is that in front of me? I see a pepper shaker, right? And then I pick it up and I was like, hey, Eric, could you hand me the mustard so that I can put some of that on my pastrami?
Oh yeah, here you go. It's spicy, so it's the golden yellow.
I love the golden brown mustard.
Whoa, that is
horseradish.
A lot that you put on that burned hot dog. Your hot dog's a little burned there.
Just squeezing all the mustard out.
You just put it on my head.
We just used.
In my view, you're above me, and it's.
That's funny. Yeah, you're above me. But we used those powers of visualization, that same power that we would use for memory.
Yeah.
We used to create some reality using our visualization skills in a little scene that we did.
Yeah,
super easy.
And the connection here, of course, is and why we're couching it with improv is because when you are learning improv and when you are practicing the tools of improv, you are training your mind to visualize. You are training your mind to visualize. And when your mind visualizes, that technique can be so critical with improving your memory.
And that's why improvisation and visualization and all the visualization that improv comes with just expands your mind. It expands your creativity. It makes you more spontaneous. It makes you faster on your feet. And visualization is fun to do. So it's really fun. Like if I'm trying to lasso Eric, our brains and the audience's brains are working to see what we're doing. And then,
Oh,
that was amazing. How'd you catch that?
oh, because I'm really, ow, 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 it's sharp. It's sharp. What is a rope? It's like rope burn.
It was really, yeah, rope, Bernie rope. So, any questions real quick about anything we talked about? And then we're going to talk about our a special announcement in just a few seconds here.
Well, we could just describe, if we wanted to, Lincoln, we could just describe the labeling exercise really quickly.
Absolutely.
Just to give you guys a little tool. Did we come back to what Eric wanted to be reminded? Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you.
It
was not humor. It was not humor.
Story.
So, we were talking about mind spatial and how we learn things spatially in our minds. And when Lincoln said, this is how we remember how to walk home from school, and this is how we remember directions when we're doing things. I still, to this day, vividly remember getting my first cell phone ever. And it was a long time ago. And this was before there were any laws about cell phone usage in cars. Sure. So I remember vividly right now, like it was 3 minutes ago, the first time I made a phone call on a cell phone and drove. And I remember I got in the car. I was talking to John Tanner, my friend John Tanner, and I was going to a mall to go to a movie theater. And I made the call. I talked to him. I was talking. It's like, all right, man. All right, we're here. And I hung up, and I could not remember the drive. I got to the place where I needed to go, but I could not remember how I got there. But my mind knew spatially how to go, and that has taught me the dangers of being on a cell phone.
Yes.
And that was way before any laws had been put in place. And then I realized, wow, it's really dangerous to be on a cell phone in a car because I literally couldn't remember having turned, having used the blinker, having used the gas or the brake, anything. But I've wound up being at the movie theater, and it was one of the more
crazy, right? Our brains are these incredible instruments, these absolutely incredible tools that are capable of so much incredible information and creativity. Yeah. And one of the reasons I love improv is because of how much it helps you harness those powers of creativity, visualization, thinking fast on your feet, all these things which are so underrated all over the world. And, of course, writers and actors and entrepreneurs all know the values of these things, but it's something that all of us can learn. All of us can improve at.
So we're just going to tell you one little exercise that you can do, that you can practice on your own to help start to improve your visualization. And then we're going to talk about a couple of really cool things that we've got.
Super simple. All you need to do is reach out in front of you, pick up an imaginary item, and then start describing it. You can either describe it like, I see a can, I see a Coke can, it's silver, red, and blue. Somebody's already popped up at the top. You could just describe it like that, or you could do it in context of a scene. So if I were doing that same object, I would pick it up. Hey, Eric, who looks like somebody popped open my Diet Coke, and you're the only other.
I still got the tab. Yeah, here you go.
Okay.
Can we put it on the?
No, just
Yeah.
this. At least it's still cold. I can feel how cold it is, and it's a little. So see how we're trying to do a little a little description as we go, but in the context of a scene. So you can play that anyway, either way. If you're by yourself, you can just grab an imaginary item and just label it. Labeling just means that you're using words to paint the picture. So it might be the
So
same
with
thing with
everyone,
bow.
so why don't we do this with everyone who's in here? So at your own home, we're not going to bring anyone into the workshop tonight, because we're kind of out of time. But for everyone who's in here, let's just try a little back and forth where here's what we're going to do, Lincoln. How about this?
Do it.
Why don't you and me, we grab an object, and we want you at home to also just grab an object. And then Lincoln will say something about his, I'll say something about mine, and then we're going to pause and let you say something about yours.
Okay.
And then do that, we'll do that a couple of times.
Great. So let's just do it to keep it simple. We'll just describe it. We'll describe it as opposed to making it a scene with all.
Oh, yeah. This is just the description. Yeah, we won't be making a scene. So everybody reach. So now at home, just do this with us if you'd like. I mean, this is a workshop. So reach, grab an item, and it's all going to be different. So don't worry about what we're saying about our items, but and then we want you to practice along with us. So Lincoln, why don't you say something about your item? Then I'll say something about our item. Then we're going to pause and we'll point to you, and you guys say something, and then we'll just do that a couple times.
All right. Well, I've got a pencil. And it's got a sharpened end and no eraser.
Oh,
somebody's removed the eraser apparently.
I've got a wooden carved figurine of a Maori warrior in my hand, and I'm holding him by the head. Now you guys, say one thing about what you're holding. We'll pause. We'll nod our head because
I'm going to freeze.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Okay, great. Now, Lincoln, you say one thing. Now, don't type it, you guys. Just say it. You don't have to type it. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just practice saying it out loud. And then, Lincoln, say one more thing about what you're holding.
It's green and white striped, and it kind of has the texture of plastic.
Oh, and mine, it's on a pedestal, and on the bottom, hold on, it has the initials AV that have been burned into it, and it smells a little smoldery. Oh. Now you guys say one more thing about what the object that you're holding. Don't type it in, just say it. Just hold your object.
I mean, you can type it in if you want.
You can if you want, yes, but I'm going to nod my head like, oh, that's interesting. Oh. And see how expansive you can get with it. Describing all the smell, the feel, the etc. So just a little exercise. It's a labeling exercise.
And Rebecca Spencer, you did type it in, and I love this detail. Carved wooden birds, eye maple mushroom.
Wait, a carved wooden bird's eye?
Oh, yeah.
Maple growing on top of a mushroom.
Well, that's a good guess. I'm not sure exactly. That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Rebecca, you have a very great, vivid visual imagination. You should do improv, Rebecca.
I will say mushroom is my favorite pizza topping. So now you're one carved mushroom made out of bird's eye maple. Oh, there's a wood called bird's eye maple.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
See, that's improv brings people together.
That's amazing.
Them learn new things.
I love that.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Now, go ahead and type in what were your objects that you were holding. I would love to know. Type into the chat what your objects were holding, and then I'm going to get something ready to. As
we've got our announcement coming up.
As you're reading the.
Very exciting.
Chat. Let's see. What am I doing here?
McCuser saw a salt shaker. Wonderful. Isn't it interesting how you reach out physically and grab something, and then your brain fills in the blanks as to what it was? Abby. Christmas ornament. Nice, Melissa. Abby says a Granny Smith apple with 3 bites taken out of it. What a wonderful detail. Abby, did you take those 3 bites? Or was it me? Because I love green apples.
I do too. Granny Smith, come on, Granny Smith apple's the best, right?
They are. They're so good. So, stainless steel butter knife, not sharp. I love it, David Burr. David Burr with the memory stuff too. Big book with the corners ripped. Wonderful. Oh, yes. Wonderful. Yes. It was one from each of us. I love it. I love it. Okay, great. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to make, it may not be a surprise to you that we absolutely love improvisation for its creativity, uh, all those reasons that we mentioned, the parts of the brain that it builds, the therapy that it is, but mostly how fun it is. And so if you don't already know, Eric and I we spent years creating a course, which is perfect for quarantine if you're still in quarantine, an improv course that you can do by yourself at home. We've had lots of people wanting to learn improv, but they were too afraid to go in and take a course where they had to get up on stage in front of 20 other people. So we came up with a play along improv class that you can do at home. So Eric, tell them the special announcement. Should we say anything else about the course before we
No, you can say one more thing about the course, Lincoln. Just say one more thing.
So we've structured it in such a way that literally, if you go through the course and you play along with all the things, you have learned oodles. You have not only learned about improv, you have put into practice, connected new synapses in your brain. Your brain is firing. You will be more confident doing improv. You'll be more confident with creativity. All these things, incredibly so. It's just the natural way that these things work. So we've put all of these things into our course called Become an Improv Wizard. And of course, we want to share improv, the gift of improv with everybody, because anyone can do it, but not everyone's brave enough to do it in front of a group. Not everyone has a class near them. Yes. And not only that, but if you take a $600 improv class, you're going to get so fewer chances to get up on stage and work. You'll be working, you'll be doing lots of practice during this course, even if you just follow along.
Yes. So our big announcement that's particularly if you are new to our workshops, we want to thank you for attending this online workshop, but we are offering a 50% sale on our online improv online improv class, and that sale is ending at midnight tonight. At midnight tonight, midnight Pacific tonight. You can go to that link in order to take advantage of it, but the coupon code, the discount code is May28, which is today, May 28th. So today, the 50% off expires tonight. Now, this is not our only, by the way, this is not our only announcement for tonight, Lincoln.
It's not.
You realize it's not our only announcement for tonight.
It's not.
It is not our only announcement, but I am putting the link in right now into the chat. So it's a clickable link. If you want to go to the chat, you can click on that link and you can see, you'll be able to see where to put in this discount code, May28, MAY28, for 50% off. And we will have to tell you, this is likely, we had said that we were going to be doing these free workshops and then offering this 50% discount through May because of what's going on in the world and a lot of people who are quarantined and sheltering at home. Well, the world is opening up a little bit.
Yep.
The world is opening up a little bit. And so and we had said we were going to do this through May. So chances are next week we're probably we're hoping we're going to do a free workshop again next week, but chances are we're not going to be offering a 50% discount. So
that's the plan. We had never planned on doing such a big discount, but we wanted to be able to help people during this crazy time, to have something to do at home, to keep their creative brains going, to have fun, to do together with their family, all those things. And it also is a great gift, by the way. It's an incredible gift if you know someone who's theatrical, or even if they're not theatrical, but they could use more confidence, or if they're looking for ways to increase their creativity. This is a wonderful, absolutely wonderful way to do that. So yeah, we hadn't planned on doing this kind of discount at all, but it just seemed like a great time to do during the quarantine. And I don't think we're going to be doing it much longer. So this may be our last week.
And so this is what you'll see when you go to the link, just to show you, this is what you'll see. When you enroll now, you receive lifetime access to our course. We have Wizards only live streams. That's another part of our special announcement, and bonuses. But when you go to Yes, I Have a Coupon, you just put in May28 into the coupon, and you'll see you'll get 50% off, $250 off. And to Lincoln's point, what we have packed into this course, into this 11-module course, is enough information that in Los Angeles, as professional actors, Lincoln and I would have to spend thousands of dollars to to glean this information into a course. And so we've packed it into here. Now, the other thing that I want
to say too, that a basic groundlings course, six workshops with 20 other people in the class is about $600.
Yeah.
So you're getting up 2 or 3 times per class. You're learning so much more in this. I mean, I think 2 or 3 of our modules, they're all video trainings. There are some bonus PDFs and bonus videos, but you sit down anywhere that you have internet access, you watch the video, you play along, then there's some other bonus play along videos. You're not reading a ton. The whole course is video. So
very video,
watching through, playing through, and then you've really upped your improv skills, even if you've already know how to do improv. Sorry, Eric, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, that's right. I was just going to say also, the other part of our big announcement here is that we are doing our Wizards Only live stream this Saturday for everyone who is a wizard, an improv wizard. We're doing our Wizards Only live stream. We've got a couple of them who are here with us. We're doing it this Saturday for all improv wizards who have enrolled in the course, and we're doing it this Saturday. So you'll be receiving some more information about that. But we're very excited about that. And
so if you want to be included in that,
Lincoln,
I was just going to say, if you want to be included in that, if you buy the course today at that 50% off, you'll be invited to that as well. Or if you want to gift it to someone else, we'll send them out an email so that they know that the class is coming on Saturday, but you can also tell them too that this will include all those future workshops that we're going to do. Lifetime access to the course.
Yeah, and these Wizards Only workshops, we like to have everybody come into the Zoom and practice what we're doing. So it's a lot more hands-on, so to speak.
Yep. You don't have to. You can also watch.
Yep.
But we literally do workshops and we work through, and everybody who's willing to or who wants to gets on their camera, and we go back and forth and we practice and we do Q&As and we literally coach you through it.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions for us, please let us know right now. But again, if you want to take a screenshot of this, just thanks for attending. And once again, we are doing our 50% sale. It ends tonight at midnight. So
if you have
4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours. You got 4 hours. You have 4 hours if you'd like to do it.
If you've got a question and you're like, I'm not sure if I can handle this or if I can do this. First of all, there is a 30-day money back guarantee. Secondly, if you're not sure, send us an email. If you have a specific question that you think of later, send us an email, theguyz@improvwizards.com. And I can't guarantee how late we'll be up tonight. I usually try to go to bed around 10:30 if I can. But reach out to us if we can
if you're still thinking you have any questions, feel free to email. I'll be up a little bit later. So like we said, learning improv is one of the greatest things that has happened in my life, professionally, and also, I don't want to say emotionally because my wife will get a little upset about that. But no, it helps so much. And like we learned tonight, learning certain tools of improv really help your mind improve things like improving your memory, which is such an important tool,
And Eric, I can honestly say that nothing has done more for my confidence in my life than those first few years of doing improv. The way that I went from not being able to speak in public at all to not wanting to talk at all to anyone, and then almost instantly getting up on stage with no script and making stuff up just because of a little improv training completely changed my life. Confidence. You wouldn't believe it if you had met me before and asked me to get up on stage. And now I'll hop up on stage and make anything up gladly and easily.
I also just wanted to let people know as well that if you're undecided about wanting to get full access to the course right now, we completely understand that. We do have a subscription that you can do as well. So if you just click on that enroll button, you can find the subscription as well. And those who are subscribing members, which are just our monthly wizards, they are privy also to our wizards only live streams. Our wizards
As
only
long as they're
as long. I mean, if you cancel any, you can cancel any time, but then after you cancel your monthly subscription, you won't have access to those things anymore. So,
well, guys, thank you
you're
so
welcome,
much,
Rebecca.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. McCuser, thank you. Yes, thank you so much for being here with us. We know that your time is valuable. Our time is valuable too, and I hope it says something that we're willing to spend our time sharing this amazing gift of improv with you. And I'm so glad that you were willing to spend your time with us to learn a little bit more about memory and improv, because we love it so much.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening. Hopefully, we'll either see you this Saturday, or we have another improv show on Monday night. We cannot wait for that. Check your emails. Remember, your emails come from the guys at improvwizards.com. And again, a little DeVerl shout out, Lincoln.
That's right.
A little DeVerl shout out.
That's right.
All right, everybody. Well, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you online. Thanks, Lincoln.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.